Hi there, this is Joe from SquareXO, and this is SquareXO episode 71, I believe. Before we start, and I introduce everyone that I normally do, don't forget to follow us at squarexo.co.uk, twitter.com/square_XO. Back us on Patreon if you want a nice mug and a badge, and to enter our Patreon exclusive only competition, and to get our exclusive Patreon-only episode of SquareXO Extra, which is published once a month. Visit website for the latest reviews, competitions, and more. We're posting literally a review a day at the moment. There's some good reviews coming up soon. If you want to watch us live, we're on, well, not live, recorded live, we're on youtube.com/JoeAnsonWater. If you want to listen through your ears, we're on Podbean, iTunes, and Spotify. Okay, today I'm joined by Dan.
Hello.
Nicole.
Hello.
And Rebecca.
Hello.
Okay, so we're all here, so let's just fly straight to the gaming news. If my iPad will let me get it up on the screen. Right, the first gaming news is quite a lot of football stuff. I'm not wearing a football top on purpose, it just happens to be the first t-shirt I grabbed out the drawer. But let's have a look. We may as well start with relevant news then, since I'm wearing this t-shirt. Rangers have been announced as a partner for PES 2019, so that means they'll have the authentic players, Ibrox Park Stadium, the greatest stadium in the world, and other stuff that I can't even think, but that's good. So I'm pleased about that. I know no one else cares, but I care. I'm happy. Yes. Moving on to FIFA. FIFA's been given 2 new modes. They've got Ultimate Team's got a new mode called Division Rivals, which I read about and I didn't quite understand, so I'll understand more about that when I play it. And also there's a survival mode now, which I find quite interesting. So how this works is when you score a goal, you lose a player. And
I saw that earlier, yeah.
I think it's first, was it first to 5? I think you need to beat their team by 4 or 5, and every time you score, you lose a player. So, but it follows the rules of football. So if you lose up to and only have 7 players left on your team, then the game will get abandoned, sort of thing. But it's quite an interesting concept. Apparently, you can switch referees off as well, which I quite like the sound of, especially Scottish referees. Just gets. Yeah, so that's kind of interesting. Moving on to other games, BioWare has said that it hears loud and clear fan demand for more Mass Effect and more Dragon Age. Dragon Age, yes. Mass Effect.
Yeah. Not really.
Mass Effect, but yeah, Dragon Age, I'll have more of that, please. Elon Musk has said he wants to put video games in Teslas. He tweeted out, if you're into video game development, consider applying to Tesla. We want to make super fun games that integrate the centre touchscreen, phone and car.
Because driving on your mobile isn't illegal.
Yeah. But their car's automated.
They drive
just
themselves.
Play games while they drive themselves.
Seems like I don't like the path it's going down there.
Yeah.
It's scary.
So you can sit and play We Happy Few while your car drives you to Tesco. Yeah.
I don't think that's not the kind of game you want to play in that environment, really.
Really not.
Don't know. Well, to be fair, sitting in the M8 is depressing, so maybe it would be quite an appropriate game. Okay. Planet Alpha is out this September. I don't know what it is, but it's coming out this September.
I do.
Good.
I played that.
EGX
I played that at EGX Rest. It was very quiet for a long time. They said that it was going to be coming out in 2019, so it's nice that they've got a September release date. I'll be looking for that one when it comes out.
Yeah.
Good. Narrative heavy nautical rogues like Sunless Sea is coming to PS4. Another one I've not really heard of. By the sounds of it, I'm not really bored about either. But hey, it's coming to PS4, so that's exciting for those who know what it is. Donut County launches this month. Now that is one I'm excited about. That looks awesome, that game. Where you just sort of, you play as a whole and just swallow everything up. It just looks so cool. Oh, I can't wait for that. That's so good. I'm excited for that. Oh, and the PS Plus games have been announced. And also there's a deal. You can get PS Plus and a 3-month Netflix subscription for $19.99. That's quite a good deal if you want to try it Netflix and you've got PS Plus. Yeah, good deal that. And PS Plus games are Mafia 3, which is a good game. Don't know if anyone's played that, Mafia 3.
I've got it, but
it's another one of these open world, L.A. Noir, GTA type experiences, but it's good. It's not bad for what it is. I quite like it. Dead by Daylight. I think that's an okay game. I can't really remember that one.
I've never heard of it before.
I've heard of it. I don't think I've played it. I've seen stuff on it.
I'm
sure
I've played that. It's going to annoy me now. Wait there, let me just have a quick look at it. It's actually Dead by Daylight Special Edition that's coming to Plus. But no, I don't reckon it. I'm sure I've played that. Sure I have. No, it just powers the PS Plus bonus game. That's good. Hear the Lie, which is a VR game. I've played that. I don't know if I liked it. It's a bit weird. Bound by Flame on PS3. Series Sam 3 on PS3. Draw Slasher on Vita and Space Hulk on Vita. That's the games for the month. The month of games. And the charts. The charts, Crash Bandicoot is number 1. Lego The Incredibles is number 2. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is number 3. The Crew 4. The Crew is 2 is number 4. Mouthful there. I wonder what number 5 could be. Any guesses?
GTA?
GTA 5 is number 5. Call of Duty World War 2 is number 6. God of War 7. Super Mario Odyssey number 8. Jurassic World Evolution is number 9. And Mario Tennis is number 10. And No Man's Sky managed to make number 11. Anything else of note in there? Oh, Neighbour number 16. That's a new entry. That's about it for news. News is done. Not a lot of news this week, but then it's a summer month.
It's getting close to September though.
Yeah, so close.
It'll pick up again soon, I'm sure. But at the moment, the news is done, so we can talk about something else now.
So our topic for this week was this one of our patrons.
Yeah,
for us.
Thomas McInnes.
Yeah. I thought it might have been. Okay, so this one was a topic that was thought of by Thomas McInnes because I'll be honest, it's hard thinking of topics every single week, so I really appreciate the new feature of the patrons allowing to decide a topic. Very much appreciated. But anyway, it is what features from other consoles should Sony steal? I don't have a lot to say on this one because I own all 3 consoles, so I've got an Xbox, PlayStation, access to a Switch, so sort of reap the benefit of having all 3. I don't really feel like I'm lacking on one because I can always just go to another and pick it up from another. I do think though, in terms of Sony, my one main thing, and I did see that someone also commented this, is that I would love for the share button to be as good as the share button on the Switch. When you take a picture on the Switch, it's instant, whereas I feel like when you take a picture on the PlayStation, it sort of lags a little bit, and it's really painful when you're trying to get that perfect screenshot for a review. And then you look at the preview and it'll be 2 seconds after you press the button and you're like, that's annoying. Also, backwards compatibility, obviously, is something that I think a lot of people want. We get a lot of people who come into the store and they say, oh, I bought this PlayStation 3 game for my PlayStation 4. And I'm like, nope, can't do that. And they say, oh, but, I heard that you could do that on some consoles. And I'm like, that's, just Xbox. So I think that's something that's quite nice as well. But apart from that, I really am quite content with them. I sort of appreciate all 3 of them for what they are and what different things they have. But I do know that Nicole has a lot to say on this. So I'll just pass it over to Nicole and then everyone else can have a say.
I don't know. I agree with you in respect. I have all 3 consoles and as you say, you can kind of appreciate each of their features, regardless. But I'd say backwards compatibility is probably my biggest one. Yeah, I really want to see that on PlayStation. Mainly because I know arguably PlayStation Now is PlayStation's way of making older games available to play on PS4. But obviously the need to subscribe to a service and the streaming kind of element, it makes it something it narrows its audience in a way. Not everyone appreciate it. Obviously, when a game's getting remastered, all you see, especially in my case, all you see all over Twitter is the controversy about whether developers should be wasting their time investing in these projects when they could just be adding to a franchise, like one entirely new game. I know, obviously, it's not the case with all games because a lot of them tend to hand over the game system to put them in the limelight. There's still a complaint that crops up quite a lot. In some cases, like remasters and that work. Obviously, as we've seen recently with like Shadow of the Colossus, where it's kind of gorgeous environments, kind of aesthetic, beautiful, and more immersive in a remake. What might not necessarily be captured in a kind of just directly backwards compatible version of the game. Yeah. But there's no pleasing everyone at the end of the day, and I think kind of Xbox growing list of backwards compatible games show that there's a market for it still. And, you know, there's so many old games that people could appreciate from PlayStation's library on a PS4. So I just think it would be a really, really good feature to have.
I mean, in terms of it being easy for accessibility too, a lot of people have obviously gone through PlayStation and had PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4. So you say if it was backwards compatible, you're saving money. Instead of having to buy these remasters on the PlayStation 4, you can just get your disc from the PS3 and you've saved, 15 to 20 quid, depending on how much the collection or the remaster is going to be. So in terms of that, I mean, it's a massive advantage that Microsoft have over... Where's Dan going? I just wondered, what's happened? It's a massive advantage that Microsoft have. So it seems like something that Sony would naturally do, but I don't know if they would, if that makes sense. But what do you?
The focus of PS Now, to be fair.
I don't think it's ever going to happen because of PS Now for one, but also because of the sale on PS3, which makes it basically impossible practically for them to port games to PS4 because the architecture PS3 versus PS4 is just completely different. PS4 is based more on PC. PS3's got some sort of weird technology that's probably ahead of its time, and now it's sort of they're not using it anymore. So I mean, I don't think it's happening. I don't think they should waste their money and their resources on making it happen either. I don't think I'm jealous of Xbox because Xbox doesn't have any games except games I played on Xbox 360, so why should I be jealous of that? I'm playing things like Detroit and God of War, Last of Us, Horizon. Keep the list coming because it's massive. Spider-Man, Days Gone, or would I rather play don't know, an old game that they would released, Heavy Rain again on PS3, but they've remastered that anyway. I guess my point is I'd rather they spent their money on innovating in new games for PS4 because that's what's making them successful. I don't think many people's jealous Xbox. Xbox is third in the race. No, they're not winning the race. They're not. Nobody's going, oh wow, I really want to get Xbox because I really want to get Xbox One because then I can play Xbox 360 games. Buy an Xbox 360.
That's why I got an Xbox One, because I wanted to play Dead Space. So I literally am that person.
You could have bought a PS3. It would have been cheaper.
No, I want an Xbox.
Yeah, it would.
Work. Well, I need it for work.
I'm just making part. I don't think it's really an important feature, and I think anyway going forward, because PS4 is based on PC architecture now, when PS5 comes out, the games will work from PS4. It'll be much easier backwards compatibility, and I think it'll be out the box. But me and Dan have argued about that a million times, but it will be out the box. You'll be able to use all your PS4 games on PS5, no worries. I can understand why it's not with PS3 because of the differences I mentioned in the architecture, but you've got PS Now, so if you're that desperate, just use that because it's.
Yeah, I don't care about backwards compatibility.
Is there anything else then?
But anyway, wait there. I'm just going to go over to these opinions that we've got.
Okay.
Someone says they'd like a 4K Blu-ray player and Game Pass type service. That was Jetlag. Thomas said he'd definitely take the share button from the Switch, like you mentioned. Yeah. I don't get that. I think it's.
I've never noticed it.
I've never noticed it. It's absolutely fine.
You can make it shorter, but it's definitely there is some sort of lag.
Laggy.
Yeah.
I think it's fine anyway. Nick Bunce says remote play that actually works. I think it works. I disagree.
Yeah,
with
that does work.
A phone app that actually works. I think the phone app works fine. I use it all the time to message people and stuff. A motion tractor that doesn't use the PS Move, because then it may actually work. I can kind of sort of agree with that motion tracker business, because half the time my PSVR kind of gets a bit wonky with the motion tracking sometimes. Although that's not.
You need a point to track. Look at green screen on CGI actors and how many ping pong balls they have on them. You've got to have something for it to be able to relate to.
But maybe something a bit better, like he says. I don't know. But it's not the worst in the world. It works sometimes. And also, Rebel Tom said Sony should steal the feature to change your PSN gamer tag name, and also a feature of upscaling classic games from previous series that Microsoft's console does. But they do have that feature. It's called PS Now. So bring it over. Or upscaling games from previous series. I don't know about that. We don't upscale games from previous series, but you can play them on PS Now, I guess. But I guess if you could upscale games from previous series, that would be quite nice. But then that's called a remaster, I guess, isn't it? The remaster games, they've remastered all the kind of best games from PS3.
Yeah.
I don't know. And can you not play PS2 games on your PS4? Can't you download them from the store? Some of them,
yeah, but not all of them. You used to play, I think it was PS1 games on the very original PS4. Oh no, that was the PS3.
Maybe when PS5 comes out, they'll figure out a way to add everything. Who knows?
It'd be good.
I don't know. But I don't know if there's a feature I was just trying to think if there is something, but I'm just trying to think what it is that I would quite like. I quite like the Game Pass. I guess that's a feature. I quite like the thought of getting Sony first-party games as part of a package, so you don't need to buy them all. That seems quite a good idea. So although I'd imagine you'd need to pay a hell of a lot more than what you pay for Xbox's Game Pass, because basically they only have about 3 games a year, so obviously you're paying for these 3 games plus old games, basically. But I mean, if Sony had one, you maybe have to pay a bit more, because they have a lot more first-party games come out each year. So I don't know, but it seems a good idea, that one. I like the Game Pass. I don't know what else on Xbox, so I can't really. I don't think they're that different in terms of features. I think Sony's PlayStation features in terms of share and all that are a lot better than Microsoft's.
Definitely. Yeah.
Because it was built with the console was really built with that in mind, whereas the Xbox wasn't. So I mean, I think in that case, that's the one thing PlayStation's definitely better at Microsoft at. I mean, I don't know. I guess you could say you could have Xbox Live on PlayStation, because it is slightly better than, or it's apparently better. It's perceived to be better than PlayStation Network. But I don't generally have any problems with PlayStation Network because I don't play online. But no, I just can't think. I'm afraid that's me. I'm not sure. Other than that, I don't think Switch is getting anything special personally that I would be jumping out for. So no. Don't know. No. Anyone else got anything?
I was going to say I'd quite like Sony to steal the Switch idea of having the portable and home gaming in one unit.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, with that one.
I would just worry that would be to the detriment of the PlayStation 5's power.
But if it wasn't, then that's what I'd want.
Oh yeah, if it wasn't, then yeah, that would be good. But I do think it would be.
I'd like. It's not necessarily a console feature, but wireless charging on mobile phones. I'd quite like wireless charging on the DualShock 4s, so that when if you just have a mat that you can put on top of your PlayStation, so then when you finish playing, you put your DualShock 4 on the mat that's on top of the PlayStation, and they just charge.
Yeah,
because I'm forever picking one up and it's dead. So if it was just sat on the sideboard and it was charging because of the mat it was on constantly, that would be a nice thing. But like I say, it's not a console feature from another console, but mobile phones have it.
No, that's pretty genius. But then there is I think you can buy something that does that.
Yeah, I think Numbskull do a pad thing that you can put 2 controllers on. But
I've got one of them.
Yeah, but it's not like built into the console. I think that would be really good if it was just something that's like part of the system.
Because you'd need 2 metal contacts on the foot of each handle, basically, and as that touches the console, it just charges.
How does the Numbskull one work then?
No, it goes into the charging port at the bottom of the controller, where the USB socket goes.
Oh right.
It's like a cradle rather than anything else.
Oh, I thought there was a proper pad for some reason. I don't know why.
No.
I just thought I saw it somewhere.
So I'd quite like that. That would be
idea.
awesome.
That's quite a good idea.
Same with the old wireless headphones, because they're forever dying as well. So
literally,
just wireless charging for that stuff would be awesome.
Yeah, it's good, eh?
Also, it'd be quite good if there was some kind of 4G built in. So it didn't matter if you took your PlayStation on holiday or around with friends, it just automatically dialed through. I don't know though; it might be a bit costly, and they binned it off of Vita, but just some kind of always-on wireless would be quite good. But yeah, don't know about that. It's just an afterthought.
Yeah.
Although most places you go now have Wi-Fi anyway.
Yeah, most, but I think generally 4G coverage is better than Wi-Fi coverage.
Yeah.
I'd expect, Becky, you probably get better 4G than you do Wi-Fi in your house.
Oh God, yeah.
So if there was like
Wi-Fi here.
And if there was going to be like a streaming service, if the Wi-Fi signal was subsidised by a 4G frequency, then it could work quite well.
Yeah.
Okay, we're done then. Shall we move on?
Yeah.
Sure.
Cool. So what are we talking about next? Our questions, or do you want to do our job first?
No, let's do questions first.
Okay.
Right. Our first one this week is from Tony Sibley, who says, My PS4 Pro sounds like a jet engine, and I'm tempted to take it apart and clean it. Any of you done that before? Is there any benefit, or would I be wasting my time? I think it has been noisy since day one. Now, I can relate to this because my room is like 1,000,000 degrees. Mm-hmm. It's always 1,000,000 degrees. I have a fan on. I have everything. I can have my windows open. It would still be 1,000,000 degrees. So I think on numerous occasions, I've taken it apart, like recently, to hoover out the insides, just to make sure there's no dust, because there's just insane amounts of dust in my room. And it's just, I don't know, it just sounds like it regardless. I've had a fan on in my room. I've had to turn it off because I thought it was the fan being noisy. There was my PlayStation.
Is there a lot of dust in it when you take it apart?
No, that's the thing. There's no dust in it.
Okay. See, I think I've not done it personally, but I know Jordan, my son, has. He's done it quite a few times, and it seems to make a difference with him. It seems to make it less noisy. He does it quite often. I'm surprised that his doesn't get all the dust blown out at the amount it's on. But I mean, I don't use mine as much, so I would think mine would get more dustier than his. Because I've got a few PlayStations, I kind of switch between them. But mine's isn't really noisy, so I can't really relate to.
Mine's noisy.
Yeah,
I've got the 2013 model, so mine is very noisy. I was reviewing a game today, and same situation as you, I was listening to a podcast at the same time, because it's one of these games where there's no narrative, so you sort of figure out on your own. So I was listening to a podcast, and I literally could not hear the podcast in my ears through my headphones over the sound of my PlayStation. I had to turn it off because it was so hot.
I've heard that you can actually get cooling fans that you kind of slot your PlayStation into, but apparently they're kind of counterproductive and they don't actually help. So I don't know if there's any actual kind of fix for it.
Yeah, I've just accepted that mine's noisy, and I'm just
same.
Mine's loud. It's fine.
Might depend on placement as well, or if it's upright or flat.
See, it's flat near a window, so today it was getting really hot. So I think maybe that's it. I
have read, because I googled mine. So I was playing. I actually stopped playing Monster Hunter World, where I was trying to go for like the trophies, finish the game, everything. But I couldn't, because my PlayStation just sounded like obnoxiously loud, and it was doing my head.
It's
actually going to blow.
Ridiculous how loud.
Yeah, but so I read into it, and apparently if you put it on a wooden surface.
Oh my god, mine's on a wooden surface.
Yeah, it absorbs the heat. So even if you kind of turn it off for a bit, give it a breather, or kind of come out of the game, the wood still retains the heat. So obviously it's still hot when you go back to the game. So I don't know if that's
buy your PlayStation a cool pad.
I might try taking it off there because both my PlayStation and my Xbox are sitting on a wooden surface. So
mine are. They're in a like a TV unit kind of shelf thing that's wood. So it's ridiculous. There's no ventilation.
Okay, what are questions we got?
Right, we got one from Matt 2004 Hoop, who says, with the drive towards digital games, do you think there will be a point, whether that be PS5 or PS6, where boxed games won't exist? I'll personally be gutted if this ever happens. I love my boxed games. Surely there will be a backlash from the gaming community, collectors, etc. I think that's completely right. I do think there'll be a backlash, but equally I do think there's going to be a point where there's just going to be digital copies of games, which breaks my heart because I'm very superficial in that sense. I love having games on my shelf because I put money towards something, I expect to see it present, so it's not like I've just burnt money, because when I buy something digitally I feel like it's just there's no proof of that expenditure. So
I think like what me and Dan were saying the other week, I think it's probably a good idea and it'll probably happen that you'll still be able to buy box copies, you just won't get a disc in it.
I hope that's not going to be ridiculously expensive though, if that did happen.
No, but I don't think so. You just
£50 for empty.
It's not any different. No, you'll just go along. You can get a box inside instead of a disc inside. You just get a sheet of paper with a code on.
No,
it's not really any different, is it?
I mean, the thing that I don't like about digital copies is that I've only got a 500 gig and I don't have an external hard drive, so I delete my digital copies. But then it's fine. No, sorry, I delete my physical copies, but it's fine because they're all here. If I want to reinstall them again, I just put the disc in and it's fine. I found that if I delete digital copies and try to re-download them, it takes forever. So that's why I literally always go. I mean, I have I've got a physical copy of What Remains of Edith Finch because I was like, I love it and I don't want to have to keep deleting and reinstalling it. So I'd be really sad because it just means more work for me.
It's going to happen one day.
No.
I don't think it'll happen with PlayStation 5, but I think by the time PlayStation 6 comes along, this probably won't exist anymore. And people will be going, disc? What's that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Music's went that way. Everything's gone that way apart from games, really. Even movies are kind of heading that way, aren't they? So
I mean, none of my Macs have disk drives anymore. Discs are just becoming obsolete, so it will happen. I don't want it to happen, but it will.
Yeah. Okay, so there you go. Okay, next question.
Right, Sean One Neo says, take an indie game and a AAA studio. What indie game would you like to see made into a AAA title, and which studio would you choose and why? I don't know which studio.
I've literally not thought about this one at all, which is really bad.
I don't know. I'd say the game I want to be made into a AAA title is Lone Survivor, which I've mentioned before. I think it flew under the radar. But it's such a good kind of apocalyptic game. I thought it was absolutely phenomenal. I loved it to bits, and I'd love to see that brought to life in something that's not kind of like 16-bit, 8-bit. That would be really, really good. I don't know what studio I'd kind of put.
But would the game be the same if they changed the visual style to it?
Yeah, I think it'd just make it better. I mean, even as a kind of pixelated title, it's really atmospheric, and I'd love to see that in kind of a 3D world. I think it would make the game better in a sense. I don't think it would take focus from how good the game was to start with, but I think it would definitely be something I'd definitely play it. Definitely.
Yeah.
Jeez, that's a tough one. Let's just try to think. I don't know if it's just me, because obviously someone says take an indie game and immediately my brain's got, there's not one that sticks out.
Oh, Joe.
I need to.
Disappointing.
I know, but I've played loads of indie games that I've loved. But when I try and think of one right now, pick one out, none of them really are going screaming out at me. There's nothing really screaming out, going, oh yeah, it has to be this. So I guess they couldn't have been that memorable. I just can't think of one. I'm sure there's probably.
You could say that big crashing car game that we were talking about last week, the new one. I can't remember what you said it was called.
Something Wreckfest. But then that kind of is.
But just give it back to Criterion and let them make another Burnout.
I think it looks quite good as it is. I mean, they aren't really an indie studio. They're quite a big studio anyway. I just wish I could think of one that really sticks out. I'm sure there's something. I mean, because there's plenty of brilliant indie games, but it's just quite hard to pick one out. I don't know. I guess maybe if you could think something. I don't even know. I can't think. We Happy Few. They're an indie studio, aren't they?
I think so.
No, they're not. Microsoft own them.
Yeah, no, but they kind of were an indie studio, so we could kind of get Irrational. Is it Irrational who make BioShock?
Yep.
Yeah.
We could kind of get them to make We Happy Few. I don't know. Yeah. But other than that, I can't think of one off the top of my head. I'm sure there probably is a really good one that I'm just not thinking about.
Mm.
Can you think any, Dan?
Yeah, I wrote down Oceanhorn. I'd quite like Oceanhorn to get kind of expanded or made on. But then I just thought, as you were all talking, that arguably Nintendo made Wind Waker, which is basically Oceanhorn, but better. Yeah.
I guess... Sorry, go on.
I was going to say, I really liked Oceanhorn, so it'd be nice to see a bigger budget version that was just maybe a bit longer than the 8 hours. So that would be my answer. I don't know what studio would do it, though. I'd let them do it.
I was thinking, okay, Stardew Valley there, but then I thought, I think it would lose its charm if it was AAA. I quite like it the way it is. And I think that's probably why I'm struggling, because I think a lot of the games that are smaller would lose their charm if they were bigger. But I mean, if you think for Journey, for instance, if that got made with loads of money, it wouldn't be the same, would it?
No.
So I don't know. I just fit it's a hard question just because a lot of them would lose what they are and they wouldn't therefore be the same.
Yeah. What about you, Rebecca?
Well, that's exactly my point. I wouldn't change anything. I like indie games because I guess like you think of the team that's made them and then the end product. Some of the indie games out there, have won BAFTAs, they've won, BAFTA Game of the Year, and I think it's so much more impressive when it's such a small team. So I mean, everyone knows I love indie games. I like indie games for being what they are. So I don't think there's anything I'd change. Like every experience I've had with an indie game, like Inside, What Remains of Edith Finch, Journey, Abzu, Little Nightmares, all that. I've really enjoyed it because it's from a different team who, you don't know too much about, and they've got a different art style, a different music direction. It's nice sort of experiencing something that's not almost a copy and paste, because I feel like quite a few of Sony's big titles have all got sort of the same thing, if you know what I mean, just a different setting, different characters, but they've all got the same core structure. So I like the fact that indie games are different. That's why I wouldn't want to have any of them remade by a big company or a big developer. I like them.
Very...
That's it, yeah.
I like, righto. Do you want our next one?
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Okay, so gamer with beard _ says, I have a random question. Imagine if you could take any playable character / NPC from any game and have them as a playable character in another game. Who would the character be and which game would they appear in? Easy for me. At first I was thinking Dogmeat in like any game ever, just because Dogmeat is such a good companion, but then I got to thinking and I could be a lot more typical and say Ratchet and Clank in like a Jak and Daxter game. I thought that would be really, really good to kind of integrate the two kind of iconic kind of, like twosomes. I'd like that. I'd really, really like that. I'd definitely play.
I'd like War and Rune, who's his horse, and Skyrim or God of War. That'd be cool. Well, that'd be actually the 4 horsemen and God of War. That'd be awesome because it kind of fit in a way. Yeah, that'd be cool. Cool. Yeah, I'll go with that. Dan?
I was going to say the cast of Nier Automata in either Street Fighter 5 or the new Dead or Alive game.
Yeah, well, at least it might be interesting then.
Mine's like really boring. I feel like I'd like to see Nathan Drake in a Tomb Raider game just because I want to see him use a bow and arrow instead of guns all the time.
Like a lot of interest.
I want to see him. He's a treasure hunter, but he doesn't actually go out of his way to look for treasure. And in Tomb Raider, it's all about finding tombs and finding the treasures in them. So let's get a game that's a bit more treasure huntery, if you know what I mean.
I could see that do a crossover one day.
Well, they're so similar. Like, They're ridiculously similar.
I've been waiting for his like cameo. To be fair, like in the Tomb Raider game, like in Shadow of the Tomb Raider, he'll just pop in like, "How you doing?"
or there'd be a corpse with dog tags on, and she'd pick him up, and it'd be like Nathan Drake.
Yeah, it'd be like his ring with.
Yeah,
that's going to make a good topic. Gaming crossovers. What would
it's right in town?
Oh,
yeah, good question.
Good question. Okay, have we got one more?
Yes, we have. It's broken into 4 questions, so if we kind of address them as minimally as possible. Right, so we got Jen. BX
call her Jen on fire.
Yeah.
I think we all know who she is.
Yeah. Right. So her first question is, how can you become part of the podcast? Dan, Joe, take the wheel here, because
email Joe.
Email me, and you never know. One day, you might
maybe
be able to join us on screen. Wouldn't that be nice?
What we got? Are you cat or dog people? I personally don't have a preference. I have 3 cats, 2 dogs. Love them all like equally. I couldn't choose now in loving a cat as much as I love a dog. Like I couldn't choose.
I think cats are little gets, so dogs all day long.
Yeah.
Well, my cat's a little get. He's so funny. He's a brilliant cat, but because I've got 3 dogs and a cat, and he's so. I kind of respect him because he's got. Yeah, this is my house, and he'll sort of wind the dogs up, so he'll run just so they'll chase him, and then he'll stop, and the dogs will go. Just stop. They won't keep chasing. They'll just stop because they know they'll get a bosh in the face if they come near him. He's just hard. I mean, he just doesn't care. He's just like, yeah, this is my house. And he does that with us as well. It's not just the dogs. If you go to, you can be stroking him, and then he'll go, that's enough. Bosh, whack you. He's got fangs. Get scratched. He bit Lisa the other day because the dog decided to chase him, and he didn't want it, so she picked him up and he bit her and scratched her over her arm. He's a nice cat though. He sounds a bit vicious, but he is called Bruticus, King of Fleas, to give him his full name.
That's brilliant. That's such a good name. It makes my cat sound boring.
Yeah. He is the King of Fleas though.
Yummy.
He doesn't have any at the moment though, thankfully. We managed to eradicate it with a collar. There was one point when we first got him where he literally was just fleas all the time. That's what I hate about cats, fleas, because I'm allergic to fleas. So if any of the animals get fleas, we know instantly because I end up with all these red marks all over my legs. Thankfully that's not happened for a long time though. But yeah. Dogs are cool though because they're stupid. That's what I like about dogs.
They're just loyal as hell. Like no matter what you do, you have a go at a cat and it'll hate you forever. But you have a go at a dog and it comes back with its tail between its legs, like I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, sorry, don't hate me. So that's dogs are cool. Cats are alright. They're just mad.
I don't have either, but I'm super, super, super allergic to cats, so I'd have to say dogs. What I do have is guinea pigs. So I like guinea pigs. I'm down with guinea pigs. They're like literally my best friends. Before I go to bed every night, I go to see them, see if they're all right.
Are they outside or inside?
They're outside in the day, inside at night.
Oh, I want a guinea pig.
I hate cats. No, it's just dogs. Easy.
I didn't want to say I hate cats, but cats hate me, so I kind of mutually hate them back, if you know what I mean. Like, I would never go to a cat and be like, no, I hate you. But cats always like scratch me. I'm allergic to them, so I'm just like, it's not meant to be. So I have dogs as well. My
cat dribbles like when he's happy. He's healthy. My cat's adorable. He's just a big baby.
Is there any more parts to the question?
Yeah, there's a lot in there.
Two more. Right, we have, what's your favourite ice cream? So I'll keep it simple and say Neapolitan because it's like the best ice cream ever. I love ice cream. I
like mint chocolate chip.
That was my answer.
Oh yeah.
Well, we can share.
Mint chocolate chip is mine as well. I love mint chocolate chip.
We're very simple, aren't we?
Yeah, fair enough. Right, so our last one is, if you could choose to play your favourite game for the rest of your life and no other or every other game every other game for free except your fave, what would you... Wait, I'm very confused about this question. If you could choose to play your favourite game for the rest of your life, and no other or every other game for free except your favorite, what would you pick? Does someone else get that?
I see what you
get
mean.
it. So you can either play every game for free except your favorite, or you can just play your favorite, basically.
I'll just play Ratchet & Clank 2. I don't care. Like, I'd never remove that from my life now. So.
I think I'd play the rest for free.
Yeah.
My favourite game changes too much.
That's what I was thinking.
To be in
stone. Obviously, I would say Bloodborne, but then I've played Bloodborne so many times, I could practically play the entire game in my head, if you know what I mean. Like, I know what's going to happen next.
Yeah, but if you said Bloodborne, right, and then Bloodborne 2 came out, you wouldn't be able to play it.
No, but is that classed as a different game or not?
No, it's so there you go. So just play all the rest for free. And
all the rest for free. And just treasure the memories.
Treasure the memories.
I will never forget it, ever. There's no way.
And then when you go back to play it in 20 years' time, you go, oh, that's a bit rubbish, isn't it?
Yeah, I'll be like, oh, what was I fussed about 20 years ago?
Exactly. So there you go. Okay, before we move on to our Guttle Fun quiz, it's time, I guess, to do our draw then. Yeah,
our Patreon draw. So every month that we hit our target, we give away £10 or $10, depending on where you are, PlayStation Network credit. So I haven't got a hat today. I've got a mug. So hold on.
Is that a SquareXO mug?
It is. You can't actually see. So in interest of fairness, I need free hands. I was just going to hold all the names up again and put them in the mug. So Sean, I have to do it like this. Excuse me. It's just so that people can see it's actually happening. David Patterson. I'll try and be quicker, but it's hard. I can't read backwards. Matthew Afton. Thomas McInnes, Catherine, Carl, Pooh with Eyes,
or as I like to call him, King of the Nuggets,
and Jason Park. So they're all in the mug. I'll shake it up.
Shake it up. Shake it up.
Taylor Swift, yeah. So David Patterson won last month. This month's winner is this one. Which is
Carol, King of the Chicken Nuggets.
Well done.
It's £10 PlayStation credit.
That'll buy you, or not? Won't I was about to say it'll buy you some chicken nuggets, but it won't. You can spend the PSN.
What is he going to do when McDonald's goes digital only?
Oh no!
Don't know.
Well done, Carl. I'll be in touch on Patreon. I'll take it. He'll want pounds rather than dollars. So
yeah.
Yes.
Cool. So if you're part of our Patreon, regardless of what level, you get entered into the draw every month. So have a look, check it out. Job done.
Yeah. Okay. We should say well done to our winner of Screenshot July, SquareXO July. I've got the screen up on the screen right now. That's at for focus. Well done to you. You win a prize. Yay. Congrats. Don't forget to enter our McThingy-jigger. SquareXO August. Just hit that screen, hit that share button, and hashtag SQXO August, and that'll enter you into the competition. As long as you, that's it. That's all you need to do. Okay, let's move on.
Simple.
Right, time for our quiz, and I've got the first one up. I've let people read it already if they're watching on YouTube, just so they can try and get their brains in order. Right, the critic review. The basic concept is solid, but due to its bad implementation, the game is almost a total write-off. That's what it says. I've made it hard. User review. Now that I've managed to get past the hellish puzzles and broken areas of this game, finally completing it, I can surely proclaim, as many others have indicated, that the ending truly makes no sense whatsoever. I love that quote. That's brilliant. That's a classic quote. That's good. I love how the user reviews are often better than the critic reviews.
Well, they're more honest, aren't they?
Yeah. It's just brilliant. Great. So that's a
What was the first one again? Can you read it again?
The basic concept is solid, but due to its bad implementation, the game is almost a total write-off. And the user review is, now that I've managed to get past the hellish puzzles and broken areas of this game, finally completing it, I can assuredly proclaim, as many others have indicated, that the ending truly makes no sense whatsoever.
Sounds like Hello Neighbor.
Yep, bang on.
I reviewed it for Push Square and I gave it a 4 out of 10. It's just a nightmare of a game. It's so badly done.
I've watched so many YouTubers play it, and it's funny because they have no idea what they're doing. It's just
No, you don't. I mean, I started it and I had to look at a walkthrough to do the very first thing in the game because I was walking around like, what do I do? Like, there's no indication on where the puzzles are. Don't get me started. It's an absolute nightmare.
Yeah.
So there you go. Okay, next one is... What is it? I'll soon find out. Critic review. Anyone looking for a fun party game or a fun cooperative experience should pick up blank immediately. The user review says, I found it more stressful than fun. If you're looking for a casual time management game to chill out with, this is not it.
Time management co-op party game.
Fine. Is it like Overcooked or something?
Yes!
My God!
Becky's on fire.
Today.
I thought that one was relevant because we'll be reviewing the sequel very soon. So tomorrow, in fact, as we're recording this. So yeah, so I thought that would be a good one to put in there. Right, this last one. I know what it is now. This last one might be a bit more difficult. Blank is a game with great potential, but at the same time, a tycoon proposal undermined by some weird design decisions and a lack of variety and depth. User review. This game sucks, pure and simple. Don't know why anyone likes it other than having the affinity for the movie, which I share, but it's crap, trust me.
Jurassic World Evolution?
Yeah, Jurassic World, yeah.
Yes.
Oh, well done.
Well done, everyone.
When you said Tycoon, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I know what that is.
And I was thinking, what game's been recent?
That was good. That was
We're on fire
Record
today.
speed. That was.
I had no idea.
Record speed. Right, okay. Dogs are barking outside. That's nice. Right, okay. We've done the news. We've done our... Shut up, dogs. We've done our topic. We've answered our users' questions. We've done our quiz. We've done our draw. And we've announced the winner of the screenshot competition too. We've not done out this week, but I thought since it's the start of the month, and I thought maybe we could do this every month. Instead of talking about what we've been playing, talk about what we're going to be playing in the month. Ooh. So for this month, it's August. So you can choose up to 4 games. You don't need to choose 4, but just choose up to 4 games that you'll likely be playing that have coming out this month. They've got to be coming out this month. So yeah.
Oh gosh,
I've already got one.
I'll start because I know straight away. Overcooked 2 is one. Donut County is another. We Happy Few is one that I think will definitely be on my list. And Pro Evolution Soccer 2019. That's my 4. That's the 4 because I tweeted them out earlier, so I knew what they were. But yeah, and that's what gave me the idea of doing this feature. So, do you think you're going to be playing this month, Dan?
Shenmue
1 and 2.
Yeah.
2 games. Dan's got 2.
Yeah, well, it's 1 remaster. Yeah.
Rebecca?
Yeah. We Happy Few because hopefully I'll be reviewing that. So, I'm really looking forward to that.
Nothing else?
When's that out?
10th of August.
Oh, soon
this
then.
Week, yeah.
Yeah. Well, no, because my video game playing habits, I like playing things that came out years ago. So, I mean, other stuff I'm playing Bioshock Infinite, I'm playing Dead Space. So, I only normally play like 1 new game. And then I go into my backlog and I just play things that I bought 3-4 years ago and still haven't got around to yet. So, just 1 new one.
Backlog, mine just gets bigger and bigger. I prefer new games, so my backlog just grows and grows and grows. So yeah, I know what one of my games for next month is already, but we can talk about that then.
There's a lot for next month, isn't there?
Yeah, I'm sure I can pick 4 out for next month. But yeah, Nicole, you got yours?
Just literally We Happy Few because there's not really much coming out this month that takes my interest. I'm just literally going to do what Rebecca's doing. I've got like Wolfenstein 2 to finish, so I'm just going to jump on that this month and get ready for the wave of games coming in September.
Yes, September's certainly going to be a busy month, isn't it?
Very busy.
The only one I can think of that I really, really want to play in September at this precise moment off the top of my head is Spider-Man. But
got to be Spyro.
I don't know what else is coming out. Red Dead Redemption, is that September, October?
No, that's October.
Yeah.
I just thought of another one I'll be playing in August. Just thought of it because I'm working on it. State of Mind, 13th of August.
Ooh.
Can't say anything else.
Was there any truth in the rumours about Spyro only shipping with one game on the disc and the other two being download?
I think they've released the cover art and it says it on the cover art, so I presume that's true.
I just think that's such a bumhead move. Can't believe that they can get away with it. I think it's awful.
Yeah, it wasn't like that on Crash, so it kind of seems a bit of a, I don't know.
Is that because they're coming out later, or are they coming out at the same time?
It's being sold as a trilogy in a box.
Yep.
And there's not a trilogy in a box.
Well, there is, but it's just.
Well, there's not. Disc. Two of them are online. It's not in the box. I just think it's wrong.
Still getting them, so you're still getting the trilogy. So it's technically not false advertising. If it said disc trilogy or something, then I could maybe.
What if you've got no internet access? What if your internet's so bad that you can't download?
Well, it says it in the box. Don't buy it then.
Well, that's what I mean. Yeah, but there you go. You prove the point. It's false advertising. Yeah, I think it's a bad move, and I think that it opens the door to worse habits happening.
Exactly.
In my opinion.
Okay.
There must be a reason they're doing it. I don't know what that would be, though.
Money kills the second-hand market, doesn't it? You can't trade it in. You can't buy a second-hand copy. It's Activision, after all. Don't forget.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's us then. I think we're just about covered everything we normally cover. Don't forget, if you're watching on YouTube, to give us a like and subscribe, because that gets more people seeing the podcast and it helps more people discover us. So that's good. We want as many discoverers as possible, so please do that. If you're listening on Podbean, iTunes, Spotify, if you can rate us in any of those places, then do that too, because that will do the same thing. If you want to sponsor the podcast, you can email us. And one more thing, don't forget, back us on patreon.com/SquareXO if you can. Visit the website squarexo.co.uk for all the latest reviews, competitions and more. Follow us on twitter.com/square_XO, and we're also on facebook.com/SquareXO. We're getting quite a wee following on there now. It's quite new, but we post everything we do on there. We don't really do much else.
I don't even follow Facebook. I didn't even know about the Facebook.
You know about it now. You know about it now. Facebook.com/SquareXO.
I'll do it now.
Give us a like.
Yeah, go check it out.
We post everything on there that we do. We don't really do much else, but it's just if you're on Facebook more than you're on Twitter, then at least you'll see our stuff pop up. So, I mean, it's all helpful, isn't it? Okay. So thanks for joining us for episode 71, and we'll be back next time. Don't forget to check out some of the reviews going live this week. There'll also be a video review for Overcooked 2, a review chat for Overcooked 2, and the written review as well, plus there's other reviews coming as well. I just don't know what they are off the top of my head. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.